Hi guys, nice to have you all here. So I'll first introduce Deepa because she needs no introduction, but she's Sri Lankan. She was the head of content strategy at Machinima. She's worked with Warner Brothers, which she will speak to you all in a little while of. And we are really lucky to have her. She was in a panel a little while ago. So I just asked for her help to kick off this session. So I will go into the technical stuff about monetization and what can be done here. Deepa will kick it off with her experience in the international realm and what we can learn from there and how we can be inspired to create.
Thanks, Janeeth.
Stage is yours, Deepa.
Can you guys hear me? Good? Yeah? Okay. How's everybody doing? Enjoying Disrupt Asia? Yes? Okay. All right. So, a little bit about my background. About 8 to 9 years ago, YouTube wanted to compete with Netflix. So they invested $100 million around, across 100 channels to see if they could launch their original content initiative. And I worked on that initiative for a couple of years. I launched the Yam Yam F channel, which was led by Justin Lin, at the time was directing Fast and Furious 4, 5, and 6, and recently directed Star Trek. So me and him got together and launched the Yam Yam F channel, which was specifically aimed at creating content for the Asian American experience. He's Taiwanese, I'm Sri Lankan. We came together and built out that brand. From there, I went on to work with a couple of big YouTubers, specifically in the gaming realm, such as Toby Turner and PewDiePie. Oh, on stage, sorry. And from there, I was head of creative development at Warner Brothers. And I recently just left Warner Brothers, and I was there working with them on bringing in premium talent and working out their talent strategy. So my background in content creation has always been in digital. It's a space that I really believe in, mostly because the barrier to entry is really non-existent. If you have a phone, if you have a laptop, you can shoot your content and you can put it up there. And I think it takes away having to go pitch to a large studio like a Warner Brothers or a Disney to be able to get distribution. Right now, every single one of you can distribute your own content and amplify your stories. How many of you have YouTube channels? Okay, 2. How many of you, 3, 4, okay, how many of you want to have YouTube channels? Yeah? Okay, so Janeeth is gonna get into more of the technical aspects of what it is to have a channel. I'm gonna talk to you more from a content strategy perspective. So when you are starting out and you're thinking about the channel and thinking about your idea, so I'm gonna use Jeeva as an example. He is currently working at IdeaHell, and you have a music channel, correct? So his direction is very clear. He knows that he's mostly going to put content up on his channel that is music related, music that he is creating and putting out. So the vertical is all music. So some of the things that I really suggest that you do is really think about your vertical and what you're going to do. And you think about the people that you want to collaborate with that might have more influence, that can help bring people over to your channel. And I strongly advise against putting all of your eggs in one basket and only existing on YouTube. Algorithms constantly change, right? Monetization constantly changes. And if you, back maybe 4 or 5 years ago, if you put everything into YouTube, the return would have been bigger. But things are changing. There's a lot of competition. So multi-platform strategy is super important to create a sustainable strategy for yourself, for your brand, and for your content. So as you're looking at creating your content, don't solely depend on YouTube. Instagram TV is getting bigger and bigger. Facebook Watch is big. Microsoft is coming out, well, has come out with, but is putting a lot more money into Mixer, right? So there's plenty of platforms for your content to exist, and you need to curate your content to that specific platform. So if Jeeva is putting out a music video on YouTube, the full video is probably going to exist, the full 3 to 5 minute video is going to probably exist on YouTube, but he can tease it with auxiliary content on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and set it up for people to be able to go over to YouTube to watch the full video. So when you think about your content strategy and building out your audience and building out the type of content that you want to create, really think about the multi-platform content. And you want to find people that intersect with your vertical. You want to find I know Jeeva went to India and collaborated with several other artists, right? And that just helps bring more viewership to your platforms. Collaboration is super key in the digital space. I think that's what made digital blow up, specifically in the US. Some of the biggest talent that I started working with, the reason they started getting 1 million, 2 million, 18 million subscribers over a course of 3 to 5 years is because they weren't working in a silo. They were collaborating with other people that were doing similar content as them, right? Because it's so easily, because you can share it so easily, because there is so much engagement, the more people you collaborate with, the more your content is going to get out there, and the shareability and the likes and all that will continue. So raise your hand. Who are some of the people that already have channels? Don't be scared. Tell me about your channel.
Travel with wife.
What is it?
She has a, you have a mic, yeah.
Travel with wife.
What
It's
Channel name.
Travel with Wife, it's a travel channel.
It's a travel channel, and how long have you had it up for?
6 months.
And what's working? What do you see working for your channel? No? Are you collaborating with anybody?
No, still not.
No.
But one collaboration is on the way. So she's one of our, just to give some background, they are one of our creators at IdeaHell. She's shy, though she's very talkative on her channel, but she's very shy. So they are one of the most successful channels to come out of Sri Lanka. Within about 1.5 months, they've gotten to 13,000 subscribers. 13.
So that's working.
That's working, right?
That's great.
So so their key has been Deepa community. Their engagement. If they have 50,000 views on a video, they'll have close to 5,000 comments, right? So the engagement is very high. So what they do is they always engage with their audience, and when someone leaves a comment, they'll always go and reply. So that has been the basic key to their success.
That's great. That is key, right? As Janeeth said, and as you're doing, is constant engagement with the people that are viewing your content. You can't engage with people on television. You can't engage with people on radio. What makes digital so special is in real time you can engage with them. That's what's making Twitch so powerful, right? I don't know how big, it doesn't seem like Twitch is a big platform in Sri Lanka just yet, but it's that engagement, right? People want an authentic voice responding to them. They want to know that the person that's putting up that video and creating that content really cares about their opinion and wants their opinion. Engagement is everything. Another piece of advice that I can offer is when you start thinking about the type of content that you want to produce, you need to build out a strong rollout calendar. Don't start a channel, put up a video, and then you don't put up another video for another 3 months because you're coming up with ideas. You want to come up with as many ideas as possible. You want to shoot them, and you want to put a calendar together, and you want to train your audience to know that, hey, every Tuesday you're going to put up a video, a tourist video, a video about restaurants. And on Thursday, you're going to put up a video about the best tuk-tuks in town, right? So you want to be very clear and create something like a network calendar strategy where you're coming up with the content and you're putting it, you're scheduling it, so every week you're rolling it out at the same time on the same date. So that way you're educating your audience on when they can come to your channel, and they will know what they're going to get when they get there. That is super important because that's how you build brand loyalty. And you need to be, and to that point, as you're thinking about this multi-content strategy, be consistent with your brand, be consistent with your voice, and make sure that you're collaborating with other people who have an authentic story to tell that is aligned with your message. That's all I got, guys. I'm going to bring Janeeth up here to get more technical with it, but I'm here to happy to answer questions and go further into it.
Thanks, Deepa.
Thanks.
I think you effectively cancelled out about 4 of my slides, but
Sorry.
thanks a lot for that. I just want to see again how many have YouTube channels? Show of hands, please. And how many want to start YouTube channels? Awesome, thanks. So I will quickly run through, since most of you all are not on YouTube, I'll quickly run through the fine print here, right? Currently, YPP, the YouTube Partner Program, is not open in Sri Lanka, right? So you can't technically monetize in Sri Lanka. I have a bit of news that I can't officially say, but YPP might be opened out really soon. So that would enable all of us Sri Lankans to monetize directly. However, recently, about 1 month ago, IdeaHell, which is a collaborative creator space right at the heart of Colombo, we got MCN status from YouTube. So which effectively means we are rolling out monetization for creators. So currently we have around 100 channels done by around 120 creators. Some of them very successful. So Travel with Wife, Chamri and Kasu now one of them. So we have big names like Otara, Gypsies, all popular names. But then we have others who've just risen through the ranks of YouTube and are successful now. So that's a long story short. YPP is still not in Sri Lanka, but IdeaHell has MCN status, so we are giving out monetization. So right now we are looking at maybe 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, I think Sri Lanka will be at a stage where we can organize a YouTube Fan Fest. Yesterday was GBG's YouTube Open Mic Night. The capacity was 200, 850 registered for admission. So I think the buzz about YouTube is high. So if you all are here right now, that means you're interested in it. And this is the perfect time to get into the game, right? So I'll just quickly go through my slides. So since most of you all don't have a channel, when we have a workshop at IdeaHell, I give this exercise out to new creators. When you're thinking about a channel, Deepa briefly touched on this. When you're thinking about a channel, it's really important to figure out what you're going to put out. And you have to communicate that to your audience. So as an exercise, I give this to all the potential new creators who come to me. Think of your YouTube channel intro video. It should not exceed 1 to 1.5 minutes. And you should concisely tell your audience, hi guys, I am this person. This is the kind of content I'm going to put out. This is the frequency of my uploads. You can expect a new video every Thursday. And this is basically everything that will be on my channel. So what I do is I give this exercise, and this really helps creators to focus on what they're good at and what they can do. Because if you just have an idea to do a music channel and that's it, that's not an idea, right? You can't build a YouTube channel out of that. So if you really jot down, okay, this is what I'm going to tell my audience in my intro video, that really, really helps you to figure it out and focus, okay, this is the content I'm going to do, right? So do that first. If you want to start a YouTube channel, do that first, and that will really help you reinforce what you are good at. Okay, so for those taking notes, these are the important things. Every successful YouTube channel needs to have 3 types of content: hero, hub, and hygiene. I think they use hygiene because they'd like to call it the 3 H's, but I mean, it's educational, basically, what hygiene is. So hub content is your bread and butter. Now remember, I told you should do the exercise where you think of your intro video. In your intro video, when you tell them, expect a new video every Thursday, that's your hub content. Hub content is scheduled, regular programming. So I'll take Travel with Wife as an example. So they travel. So their hub content is, they say, guys, next Thursday we are going to the Eluma, expect the video on Saturday, right? So everyone who's subscribed to that channel knows, okay, a video is coming out on Saturday, let me subscribe to this channel. That drives subscriptions up, that drives viewership up. So as you can see, hub content is in that middle realm. If the vertical axis is watch time, and the horizontal axis is obviously January, February, March, April, hub content creates a steady wave of subscriptions and viewership, and along with it, revenue. But a channel can't basically exist with only hub content. The second content I will speak of is hero. Now this is the tricky part. Hero content cannot be planned. You don't know what hero content are. Those videos that end up on trending, not necessarily the Sri Lankan trending list, because that's plagued right now. That will change in future because YouTube is bringing in a singly speaking team to filter out unnecessary content, so that will erase, and good content will end up on our trending list again. So hero content are content that's really viral. It really drives up views, drives up revenue and subscriptions, but it's only trending during that time. The valley is really sharp. And hero content you can't do every month. It might be every 4 months you do something that's hero, right? So for example, for a channel like, say, a current affairs channel, right? We have one called SL Diaries. They touch on social issues, problems Sri Lankans face every day. So they go and talk to the public. So during the recent railway issue, if they go and talk to the public, and because that issue is trending in itself, that could become a hero content. So there's a certain level you can plan for in terms of hero content, but it's not assured. So that's the second type of content. Third type of content, very important, that a lot of YouTubers forget about, is hygiene, which is educational content. So for musicians, right, we have so many. We have about 20 musicians signed up with IdeaHell, currently monetizing. So for them, it's really difficult, right? What do you do? I mean, you can't do an original every month, every week. So what we do is we put a content plan for them. They do vlogs. They just showcase themselves as artists, right? But educational content is something that an artist can do, right? Now this is something that Travel with Wife did. So they can't travel every week somewhere. So they intersect that with educational videos. How I edit my videos. That's something that they anyway do. They edit their videos. So they film that. Because people want to know the process behind how you edit it. In terms of an artist, if you're a musician, if you're a guitarist, guitar riffs for the most popular songs. So this is where a little research comes in. So we help out our creators at the IdeaHell. We tell you what the Google trends are, what Sri Lankans are searching for in your vertical. So if you're a musician, we'll be like, okay, this is what Sri Lankans are currently searching for on YouTube. Make videos for these keywords. Then your educational videos are set. So as you can see, education, hygiene sits at the lower rung, but they will generate videos for you perpetually because those keywords will keep on getting searched, right? So when you're thinking of your channel, these are the 3 types of content that you must have in order to become a successful channel. So this is just an explanation. I mean, I've gone through all 3. So now that we've covered the basics of how you will conceptualize your channel, how you will plan your content, the third part, this is the most important part. This is what YouTube, this is a handbook given by YouTube to MCNs. I got special permission to show this to you today. Unfortunately, I can't give you these slides, but feel free to take pictures if you'd like. These are the 10 fundamentals of a creative strategy for YouTube. As you can see, it's clearly put, right? Getting viewers, keeping your viewers happy, and keeping yourself happy. Those are the trinity of the tenets that you must have in order to be a successful YouTuber, right? If you have doubts, if you think that in Sri Lanka this is not a possibility, it is a possibility. We have over 30 full-time YouTubers. Their full-time profession is YouTube, right? I will get into more details towards the end of it. I don't know how, yeah, okay, we are okay on time. So I will get into the details of how to sustain a career on YouTube, but I will quickly go through these because I think this is really important, especially since most of you all don't have a channel and you're planning to have a channel. First one, shareability. You have to be topical, right? You have to create a video that people will want to talk about. And you have to be relatable. Now, the example that YouTube gives here is Wrecking Ball, right? So for some reason, people thought that they should share this, right? So this in itself creates virality. In my 3 H's, this is what hero would be. Because you're being shared, you are automatically creating hero content, right? You have to be valuable and you have to be remarkable, right? So if you have an exceptional talent, right, that's shareable, right? Something unique, right? So these are areas that I can't go deep into, so I will have a very top view of this and I'll rush you through this. But just remember the words at least, if you're writing it down. Your content has to be shareable. And this is one of the things that gets viewership. Next, conversations. This is in no particular order, right? Conversations are to keep viewers happy. But this is the order that YouTube has kept it. So I actually asked my MCN manager at YouTube, why is it in this order? I mean, I would have just expected you to go clockwise in this circle, right? But no, apparently this is purposely done Because in this order, if you think of it, it's really easy to do it. Like, if you do a video and it's shareable, you're driving conversations. Superwoman, you all must be knowingly listening, she calls it the 30-minute golden window, right? The 30 minutes after you upload a video on YouTube, if you engage with your audience, that's how you create a successful channel. Now, this guy does Vsauce, I think. Yeah. Yes, Vsauce. So he talks to the audience in all his videos. So either you can build a whole video out of it, where you are just talking to it, but then we have creators who don't show their face. So sometimes they come on board to talk to the audience, but they always engage in the comment section. That's the second point. So if your channel is not made up, if you're a musician, you can't talk during your song, right? You can't have an intro and an outro to every original song you upload. So you can have videos where you talk to your audience directly. And you have to be authentic. Because in YouTube, unlike brands, unlike companies, it's personalities that shine. Interactivity. Now this, I think our creators have been our training ground, so we've grown with them. So again, I'll use SL Diaries and Travel with Wife as an example. Now, initially they did not ask questions, right? The comments weren't that many as compared to when they did ask a question. When they ask a question, okay, if you are traveling to this place, I mean, these were our favorite things that we saw. What did we miss, right? When you engage like that and you prompt a reply from your audience, that creates interactivity, right? And then you have the community tab once you pass a certain subscription count, I think 10,000. So once you pass 10,000, you have the community tab to interact with. So you can also, another thing that you can do is, now we have a dancer called Sachini, which most of you must be knowing. She has a successful YouTube channel. So what she did was, she asked her audience to submit videos to join her in the next video. You should have seen the engagement on that, right? People sending thousands of videos just to dance the next song with her. So that drives interactivity. Consistency. Now, I touched on this in your channel video, the channel intro video. You must be consistent. This is why I tell you, put a channel intro, because once you put out your promise, you must keep it, right? So have a clear package. Upload on a regular schedule. If it's Thursday, every Thursday, you upload every Thursday, regardless of whether you're sick or not. And you have to have a consistent personality on your channel. If you are going to be eco-friendly, you can't suddenly say, start using plastics, right? So you have to have a clear voice and a personality. And stay within the theme. Again, if you did my exercise of doing your intro video and jotting your points down, you would stay within the theme of your channel. And a good example of this is SL Diaries. They had a channel with very serious content about social issues and all that. And suddenly they started doing pranks, which I completely advised them against, right? It just did not mesh with the audience. So what they did was, finally they wanted to do the pranks because it's fun content, it drives viewership in Sri Lanka, obviously. So they broke the channels into two. So now they have one channel called SL Diaries that they do serious content. They have one called Freaks that they do prank videos. So you have to always stay within your theme and your vertical. 5, targeting. So you can target your audience. First key way is your channel name. I see so many creators coming to us with silly channel names. This cannot happen, right? If in your channel name itself, you have defined your audience, you're halfway to success, right? So if say, for example, if you're a drone operator, and you're going to have drone videos, you're going to talk about drones, you're going to talk about the technicalities, you're going to review drones, you're going to unbox drones, it's drones, right? So having the word drone in your channel name is obvious, right? So targeting, first way, channel name, right? Then you can target your audience from a show level, right? So say you have a tech channel, but you want to now target the audience regarding not accessibility. Let's take another example. So you have a tech channel and you are just going to address the mobile phone tech. So you have a playlist of only mobile phone reviews, right? So within the show, so channel level, you can define your audience and target it. Within the show level, you can define your audience and target it. Then you can target it on the individual video level. And I love that YouTube itself has used Derana's example. So this is a slide that is sent across the world, and it has Sri Lankan mothers say. So he targeted the audience, Sri Lankans, through an individual video, right? One video title. And the last one is finding a niche, right? You won't believe the niches that exist within YouTube. Whatever your passion is, whatever your hobby is, that exists on YouTube. And there's a channel that is really successful based on that hobby. How many of you have heard of ASMR? I didn't. Don't worry. Don't be sad, right? ASMR is the sensation that apparently that goes up your spine when you hear these rustling noises and whispering noises. So this is the most growing YouTube trend in terms of channels where people are like whispering into like high definition mics so that people can have this sensation. So if there's a niche, there's an audience for it. So this is how you target, and by targeting the right audience, you get the viewership. Sustainability. In Sri Lanka, I think this is key. You have to stay nimble, right? Keep your videos simple at the beginning so it's doable, because most of our creators that we see, you all have a profession, right? Starting out, you just don't jump into YouTube. So if you have a profession, have a schedule and a video format that's easy for you to manage, right? That's easy. Like even popular guys like Chanuk's Pro, I was talking to him yesterday. He was telling me how he started his channel, right? Basically with phones, just iPhone recordings, right? Malinda, they were giving the experience yesterday. So do something that you can, right? Without thinking about something that's too big, that's hard for you to grasp your head around, right? So in terms of growing big, obviously people like us are there to help with our facilities, which I'll tell you briefly later on, right? So think light and nimble. Be realistic, right? If you have a 9-to-5 job and you can only shoot on a Saturday, say that your new video is coming out on Thursday because it will take you half the week to edit it, trust me, right? And be realistic. Block shoot. Okay, this is something we do at IdeaHell a lot, right? So most creators would come on a Saturday morning, stay till Saturday evening, shoot 5 videos at a stretch. If it's vlogs, it's really easy. They stand in front of a screen, they recite, right? If it's outdoor shoots, whatever it is, they block shoot. That really helps. So these are practical tips I'm giving you. If you are planning a channel, these are some things that you can employ to make it more realistic and doable. And know what's next. So always I tell my creators, know your next 5 videos. One, because we directly market for them, so I will tell that again later. But it's really good to know what next 5 videos will be, so that you can give a hint in this video. Also, it will help you focus, keep you motivated, and have a clear path of what kind of content you're going to upload. Discoverability. Okay. So Google Trends. Now, this is something we provide training. We'll have workshops in September. Hopefully, you will hear about it. If you don't, just like the IdeaHell Facebook page. We will share more details on those workshops. They'll be free for you to attend. So we will do one on Google Trends, and you can use Trend Spotter, but Google Trends is more relevant and I feel more reliable, right? So what we do is, as I told you, especially with educational content, you can look at Google Trends to see what kind of content Sri Lankans are looking for. And if you're not looking only at a Sri Lankan audience, and if you can speak English or any other language, you can look at those trends and see what kind of videos you can do to be discovered. And make evergreen content. Content that will, answer common stuff. I think the example here is how to tie a tie. I mean, you would think that people would know. I don't know how to tie a tie, right? So I might Google that. I might YouTube that. So do things that people are obviously looking for. Those are evergreen content. And be an optimizational wizard. So the creator's playbook is there. If you just Google it, you can find it. If you don't, I can just share the PDF with you if you reach out to me. So the creator's playbook covers a lot of really important stuff, like how to style a thumbnail. I mean, I thought I'll have time today, but definitely not. I think I can barely get through the 10 fundamentals. So creator's playbook will tell you how to title, how to add your keywords, how to style a thumbnail. Especially when you're putting a thumbnail in Sri Lanka, think mobile and mobile first, right? Now, we have just numbers. This will be interesting to break the monotony. So TV Derana, which my team manages, now I have 2 jobs at Derana and IdeaHell. So at Derana, TV Derana currently has the most subscribed channel in Sri Lanka. We have around 680,000 subscribers. And YouTube is one of the key revenue earners for My Digital YouTube. It is the biggest in terms of the chunk, right? So TV Derana content, initially when we were looking at the analytics, we were really surprised. 70% of our content, right? And TV Derana has long-form content, like teledramas that are 20 minutes long, right? You would expect someone to watch it on a desktop, no? 70% watched on mobile, right? And at least half, at least 50% of that audience watches 15 minutes of it. So if it's a 25-minute video, they at least watch 15 minutes. So what people do is they, on their commute home in the train or the bus, they just watch the episode of last night because they obviously didn't watch TV. Our generation is moving away from that. So what we realized was our thumbnails need to be catchy on mobile. We changed our whole perspective because those days our thumbnails used to look beautiful on desktop, and on mobile it was like an ugly sketch, right? Completely changed the thumbnail format, and that's what exactly YouTube, recommends you to do. Think mobile first. And right now, you Google, like every seminar we go for with Google, what they say is think mobile only. Forget desktop, right? Because every new internet penetration, like every new user to the internet is mobile only, right? They've never experienced internet on a desktop. So think mobile, right? And when you're optimizing, optimize for mobile, right? So that it's easy. Like we've had fun experiences where we've optimized for desktop, and when someone puts their headphones, the sound only comes from the left channel, right? So always optimize for mobile, and in that way you will be discoverable. Accessibility. Okay, so if you're running a show, right? What they recommend is do not tie every episode to the previous one. So in case someone comes in the middle, they won't know anything about what's happening now without watching the previous ones. Now here, despite this being YouTube's recommendation, if you're thinking local, we have found the experience to be different, right? It has really helped our viewership, our revenue, if things are tied up. So up to you if you're reaching global. If you're reaching global, probably follow this, right? If you're thinking local, I would advise you to tie it up, right? Because our teledramas, forget TV Derana, I mean, that's a television channel, right? Now, when our creators refer to their content earlier, right? Even if it's a travel video, if they refer to some experience they've had at an earlier video, that automatically drives the viewer to go there, right? You can use the end cards. Now here again, I will hope you all go through the creator playbook. There are things called end cards. You will see those on YouTube channels right after the video plays. It will prompt you to go to a different video, to subscribe. So those are the end cards, right? You can use those end cards. So if you refer to something in your video, you can engage that audience with an end card. So that way you can maximize your revenue. So they say to show a brief recap of the situation before. Again, if you're going for a global audience, it might be prudent to follow that advice. If it's Sri Lankan, maybe just keep them in the dark because they will anyway go and watch that content, right? And call to action. Okay, this is something that Sri Lankans always have needed, right? At the end of your video, say, okay, next video is going to be this, right? Please click the subscription button. Ideally, point at it because people don't know where it is. This on mobile, right? And have a strong call to action, and that really helps you drive subscribers. Now, we have around 20, 30 channels that have passed 50,000 subscribers. So all of them have passed that threshold, and that's the easy threshold, right? They say, yesterday, an interesting point came out, right? It's easy to go from 500,000 to 1 million, right? It's easier to go from 1 million to 5 million, right? The hardest step for you to get as a YouTuber is from 0 to 1,000, right? It's a little bit easier from 1,000 to 5,000, right? And it's a little bit easier from 5,000 to 10,000. So it gets easier and easier because you're discovered more. Collaboration. Now, most of our creators do this. I think Deepa touched this, and this slide is almost unnecessary right about now, right? If there's a channel with 50,000 subscribers, right, and you are at 10,000, collaborate, right? Your audiences will intersect. The 50,000 subscribe channel also will benefit, right? So that's something we do actively at IdeaHell. We help creators of the same vertical connect and collaborate, right? So you can, and if you have a show, they say to keep a guest share, right? So there are certain little things that you can employ. These are gimmicks that you can do, but then the key take-home factor is collaborate. Inspirational. So you have to pay attention to what you love to watch, they say, right? So if you are a travel enthusiast, if you are a musician, you have to focus on what you like to watch, right? And iterate based on what you most enjoy. So they say, so this is the part where you enjoy what you do. So if you are not enjoying what you do and it's just a show, you will not, end up doing a good job at it, and you will not, it won't be sustainable. right? So that basically covers my 10 fundamentals. I will quickly give you a brief of IdeaHell, so for those who are interested in it. So it's a 20,000 square feet studio. It's down Alvis Place. Our membership is free of charge. We give equipment, there's equipment worth of USD 250,000 available for all our members free of charge. We have the biggest fixed green screen in Sri Lanka. We have an edit room, we have an ideation room. So all of that is open to creators. So the initial thinking behind this was we saw a lot of barriers to entry in terms of the creative industry here in Sri Lanka. And that did not sit well with us. So what we initially lobbied was first to open out YPP in Sri Lanka. So we always got the answer that Sri Lanka doesn't have a big enough population, right? So then what we did was we invested in this huge complex, right? And gave out membership free of charge. And we showed YouTube that though we lack the population, we don't lack talent. So finally, last month, we got MCN status, which means that we can give out monetization. So we have close to now 100 to 120 members. So I'm again rolling out. We have 500 applications as of the last 2 weeks. But it's open to all, so you can reach out to us. So apart from that, YouTube revenue takes time to grow, right? Until you reach about 100,000 subscribers, it will be a slow trickle. So in the meantime, we have a marketing team that takes the whole portfolio of our creators and goes to brands, right? And the brands will pick, okay, my product might fit in the travel vertical, so they go under the travel vertical and pick the channels they want to advertise. They might want to have a product placement. They might want a sponsored clip. They might want a product reviewed. So likewise, we supplement the YouTube revenue so that they can think of this as a proper profession. So that's one of the support we give. The second support, which is very important as an MCN, as a network, is we drive views, right? On YouTube, it's difficult to get discovered. So what we do is we currently have about 3 billion views per day circulating within our network amongst those 100 channels, right? So when a new creator comes, when you put out a new video, we suggest your video at the end of all those videos. So the chance of being discovered and getting views and driving viewership is really high because together, obviously, we are stronger. So that's the second thing that we help you with. And the third thing, the most important thing that Deepa said, collaboration. So IdeaHell is just an open space. It's open 24/7. People come and go. It's their home. Jeeva sleeps in it. Jeeva? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, he sleeps in it because it's more comfortable and he likes to, think and talk there. So it's a melting pot of talent. So like different groups have been formed. Like channels are there. They come meet. They get ideas from other creators because that's a powerful thing, right? So that in itself is what we are trying to get at IdeaHell. So if you have, a dream of making out as a YouTuber, you can definitely give out a call. Even if you don't come with us, we will give you the advice, right? So we will have some workshops in September. I hope to see most of you there. And if you have any questions, shoot away.
Firstly, thank you for some wonderful insights.
Your name, please?
Imran. My name is Imran.
Imran, okay.
You mentioned that at Derana, you have about 680,000 subscribers, and that's one of the biggest monetization channels that you have.
Yeah.
When you say monetization, is it the stuff that you do with the brands to have brand placement, or is it the YouTube monetization?
All right, okay. So I'll quickly tell you what YouTube monetization is. So when you're watching a video, there'll be 3 forms of ads that you'll see, inevitably. The video on the right, that fixed video. There'll be an overlay video that pops up that you can close, and there'll be a true view video, the one that you can skip. So all those 3 types of videos, someone has paid GDN, Google Display Network, to have that video there. So Google has charged that person. But they are showing it against your content, your hard work, right? So you get a portion of that. That is your YouTube revenue. So that's what I meant by Derana. Nothing to do with direct sponsors. Yeah, we have direct sponsors, but YouTube revenue alone is the biggest chunk.
That option is available for Sri Lanka?
Right now, yes. So YPP is not. So what you can do is go through an MCN. Either it's us. We are the only Sri Lankan-owned MCN. There are some Indians who are working in the market. There are some Bangladeshis working in the market. So those are the 3 options you have as a Sri Lankan. But I have good news. YPP, we are lobbying for YPP to be open. We don't want to hold a monopoly in this, right? So the whole dream was to create a big YouTuber here, bring down Hollywood productions. That's why Deepa is here. So if we show talent, we can get big projects, right? There's no reason why they should outsource to India or Singapore. We can do it, right? So that's our key thinking behind it. So right now, as a Sri Lankan, those are the options you have. You can either wait for YPP to come, or you can go through a MCN.
Can you explain a bit more about hygiene content, I think?
Hygiene content. Okay. So hygiene, I won't use the word hygiene because educational is easier, right? So anything that is educational that people are searching for, right? So as I told you, we'll go deeper into it in a separate workshop because Google Trends in itself is a wide topic, right? So what you can do is go on Google Trends, watch a few tutorials. You can learn about what specific demographic and geographic viewers are looking for, searching for, right? So if you look on those trends, you can find what is educational, right? So if your channel is a music channel, as I told you, you can look at guitar riffs and whatever popular song that people are listening to, generally the karaoke version of it, the lyric version of it, and the guitar cover, the drum cover, people are looking to cover, mimic that song. So those tutorials are really popular. So those things can be found out in a scientific way in Google Trends. So that's your strategy for educational videos, but basically anything that's educational is a hygiene video. Okay, so thanks guys, hope this was helpful. Thanks Jeeva for sparing your time and coming and being with us here. Hope this was good. Have a good night.